Hey guys, well, it's been about a year since have flown, and so I'm a little bit rusty, a little more out of shape. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this off the ground, but let's try. My runway goes east to west, and the wind is kind of coming from the south. So obviously, if I'm running at that chicken coop, it's going to be a pretty short takeoff, or it will need to be. So I'm hoping to pull it up this way, turn a little bit, and take off that way. Little catty corner to the wind. Got the wing laid out. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. Actually, I'm not really nervous. I'm worried that this is going to be really painful. But we got a good breeze right now, so I better get going. Here I'm dropping some grass. The wind conditions at every part of the field are different, wind going different ways, so that can make takeoff really challenging. Normally I try to do a lot of leg work and really pull myself forward, but this time my legs are just kind of trotting along and the motor's doing all the work. Wing comes up straight, I apply left brake to come down the field here so I don't run into my barn. Everything goes really smoothly, get a little gust that pulls me off the ground, then I get a tailwind, and now I'm dropping. So I pull on the brakes here just to get me over those logs, and brakes can give you a little temporary lift. So I use that to get a little altitude, and air's still pretty choppy, kind of dynamic and moving me around, but I'm able to get airborne just fine. I really like that technique. It worked really well with just relying on the motor to move me forward and letting my legs just kind of trot up and down vertically. You can see I've got the miles per hour here on the left and the altitude on the right. I'm giving my friend a call. He's a pilot and he's always wanted to see me fly, so I said, hey, I'm gonna swing by your house. He's on the other side of these neighborhoods, so I'm going to circle around them so I don't fly over anybody's houses. They've been building just a ridiculous amount of neighborhoods all over our farmland here. Not much farmland left. So here's his housing development. I'll swing in right here. There they are, coming out in their backyard, waving at us there along the fence. Do another pass here, see if I can get a little closer. The air is still pretty dynamic, so it's pushing me up and down by 20-30 feet. So I really don't want to get too close to the ground. It's kind of like you're riding rapids in like a kayak, so you get thrown around pretty good. Still fairly early in the day, so things haven't calmed down. Still a lot of thermals going. I'm looking for my great uncle's house, and I see his lake there, just off past that, right in front of the sun there. Little triangular lake there. So I'm going to give him a call. He used to be a hang glider pilot, and so we have a lot in common. So I thought I'd buzz by. He has a really beautiful place here. I'll show it to you guys. You can see my little red dot moving around my map there. So this is his place, these fields. You can see his lake there. He's got a house in those group of trees. Nice, big, beautiful place. He wasn't answering his phone, so I'm just going to buzz down. What I normally do is you'll see I run my shadow across people's houses so that when you're inside the house and all of a sudden the daylight gets blocked out and then reappears, it kind of gives you the clue that something just flew over your house, and so it's a great way to get people's attention. But I think he's in the basement painting, so he didn't see me. He's actually a really good artist. So this is his place. I love flying in the fall when all these colors are just starting to come out. But it hasn't gotten too cold yet. You can see I pulled in my trimmers. I was flying on the way over with them out just to get a little more speed, but as I get close to the ground I want a little more safety, so I pull them in. Flying over these trees like this gives me that feeling when you're a kid and you're just imagining what it would be like to fly, where you can just run your toes through these leaves. Of course, you want to stay within a buffer of safety. The thermals are now starting to die down. We're about an hour from sunset now, and the air is starting to really smooth out. It makes your wing just feel like you're on rails, like you're not getting pushed around like you're on a glassy lake compared to a stream that's going down a mountain or something. Got a train going through here, a couple of them. Makes me feel like flying down and seeing if I can put my feet on it, but obviously that is probably not a very good idea. Check out this golf course. There's a few guys playing, so I'll steer clear of them, make sure I'm not disturbing anybody. So you guys might be wondering why I don't post videos more often. I think it's been about a year since I posted my last video, and really I think it's just been, life has been full of a lot of good things. I've been getting really into gardening. Yeah, I know, I'm getting old apparently. I'm 36 now, and I really enjoy gardening. I pushed the garden up to about a 1/4 acre this year. So we're growing most of our produce during the summer, and that was a lot of fun getting to do that with my wife and kids. And also I've been working on the house a lot. Some of you guys have seen some of my house projects that I've been doing. I bought an old house on a beautiful property, and I've been basically just remodeling it like crazy. I put in about 10,000 hours into remodeling the house, so it's like a full-time job basically, but that's over the last several years. So here's a picture of my old house. You can see that porch on the front. So then I tore off that porch. I put on this rock facade with this gable, kind of swooped it down there, and then I added on everything on the right, 2-car garage with a second story up top. So it's been quite the project. Here you can see again the old house. That tree's gone now, and where the garage is. Give you another view here. Trying to go for like kind of an English cottage look, but it's still not finished. We'll throw some cedar shutters on there and some window boxes with some red flowers coming out and stuff like that. I love that people still use these old tractors. We'll head up back to my friends here. Now that the air's calmed down, I'll be able to do a little bit lower pass for them. Looks like they're in the backyard there, waving. Oh, looks like we have a coyote running across this field. Looks like he's going faster than I am. I'm going to curve downwind here, and now I'll be able to catch up with him. Now I'm hitting like 27 miles an hour. And we'll let him go. I don't want to tire him out. got a guy here getting out of his truck to take pictures. I actually found his pictures on Facebook later in a public post, and I used that picture as the thumbnail for this video. So those are that guy's pictures. Let's swing back down here, visit another friend, see if they're out and about. Looks like I got somebody waving to me on the back porch here. I love that I can just buzz around and visit people. So I have a new hobby I'm just getting into, and you know, I like things that I like seeing, like God's creation and it moving past me at like this slow speed that I can enjoy it. I like it being like, I don't like dirt bike riding because it's so like bumpy, but I like the smooth, quiet. Now Paramotor's a little bit noisy, but you throw on a good headset and it's quite quiet. It's just this peaceful, relaxing, you know. I like kayaking down the river where, you know, it just, the scenery is scrolling by you, and it looks like we got a couple ladies in a truck here enjoying the sunset. And so I've been getting into electric unicycles, and they're called EUCs, pronounced Ukes, and I just bought one. Just bought a used one, picked it up cheap, and brought it home. I got a video here I'll show you of my first time trying the thing. Now, I've ridden a unicycle before, not an electric one, so I felt like it was extremely easy. You can see within 5 minutes I've pretty much have this down, but it's a little bit of a weird sensation at first. But these things go, you can get them that go 50 miles an hour, 150 miles of range. And you can see they're like the size of a suitcase. They're like these tiny little things, but you get on the road and it's like a motorcycle. It goes fast. And I love how compact and smooth and quiet it is. Every year these things are getting like way better. They're putting shocks in them now, and to make them more comfortable for riding. You can hit potholes and bumps, and it's pretty smooth now. Of course, they're getting faster and longer range. They got headlights. People commute on, I've seen guys on the freeway with these things. They got headlights, and of course they have body armor and everything that they're wearing, gloves, and padded up really good when you're going at those speeds. So guys go up and down stairs on these things. You can take it out in the woods. Here is after 10 minutes of riding. You can see I'm a lot better, much more smooth. Do a little acceleration here. It's such a neat feeling. You're always just balanced. Wherever you think you end up going, it's just a really neat feeling. So I've been commuting into town on this thing, and I was going somewhere, and I went around a curve, and I was at max speed, and I tried to accelerate even faster, and they have these warning beeps that tell you to slow down if you're getting too fast, faster than the unicycle can keep up. Well, I ignored them, and I actually had the beeps turned off, but they have the pedals tilt back, and I ignored that. Anyway, so the motor couldn't keep up, and I just ate it, and I busted a ligament in my shoulder that holds my collarbone down, and here I am in the emergency room, and I'll show you a couple x-rays. You can see my collarbone's a lot higher than it should be. It should be about an inch lower. So now I'm going through physical therapy, and it's going to heal up fine. Should have no problems long term. Kind of a bummer that it happened. That was my first fall. Most people don't get so beat up on their first fall. I probably should be in better shape than I am. Here's a lake bed that dried up. My brother actually bought a house on this lake and then recently sold it. It's kind of a bummer that the whole lake is dried up. It must have been a really dry year. You can see the bed is all like cracked up here. So I'm going through a little bit of a recovery right now. Can't do much of anything. I can lift about 10 pounds with my arm. Can finally get out of bed. So it's going to be a while before you see videos. I don't think I can take off because the straps during takeoff on the paramotor pull on my clavicles, and my one is pretty tender still. So, but it's not a big deal. I'll get all healed up and we'll move forward. And yeah, I am counting down the days till I can ride my uke again. That's going to be really fun. I'll maybe have some body armor by then. So here I'm coming back to home sweet home. Gonna swing by here and check my flag. We got chickens this year, and that's been a lot of fun. They just free range everywhere, and they seem to find their food fine. And but coming into land here, it looks like I startled them. You can see them all tearing off to the left there, and they're headed towards the garden, and they just run straight into the garden fence. It's like they don't see it. You can see them just running straight into it. So I figured out which way the wind was going. Now I'm lining up to come in for a landing. I'm always amazed. It just feels so fast. I'm like, wow, I'm going to hit like at 20 miles an hour. And then sure enough, you pull the brakes and it slows right down and can almost bring it to a stop before you put your feet down. Well, that was a great flight. Man, nailed my first launch. I was so pleased. Just got the right gust at the right time and everything worked out. Wing came up straight. Ah, that was fun. Flying is very relaxing, and at first in the flight is a little bit bumpy, and then it smoothed right out. So that was great. So I'll see you guys in the next video.